Ego, get out! Welcome! So, my name is Kevin Valentine, the creator of Live to Make History. And in this video, we're going to be talking about back to the gym. So, as we know, gyms are finally back open, and we can literally go out there and train. Yes, we can finally get those gains and train back in those gyms. So this video is going to be specific. I'm going to explain what you need to do to get yourself back on track into the gym and continue to maintain those gains. You ready? Let's go. Wow! So you walked into those gym doors, looking left, looking right. What do you first do? You need to first leave your ego. Take it out of me, fall it into a little box, throw it out the door. Leave your ego when you enter the gym. This is the first session in about 4 months or so. Leave your ego at the door. Go straight into it. When I mean go straight into it, you're going in an open mindset. You haven't done this for a long time, so you want to take your time as you're going into the weights. But before you even go into the weights or whatever your goal or specificity is, whatever that specific goal is, you need to first make sure you have warmed up consistently. Make sure you warm up consistently a bit longer than you usually do, especially if you haven't been training during lockdown. Take your time. This is all about taking your time. Time will tell. Time will tell. You've done the warm-up, you've done the mobility. Let's just skip past that part and let's go straight to your main workout, whether it's cardio or weights, whatever the goal is. Let's just take weights, for example. You need to first, I always say this quote, I say this every time. If the weight is not your warm-up, if the weight is not your warm-up that you used to do previously, if it wasn't your warm-up you did before lockdown, if it's not your warm-up, don't attempt it. Do not attempt that weight, because why? You're more likely to get injury, you're more likely to do it wrong, you're more likely to have that ego boost to continue to keep doing more, and you're just gonna fall down the track. More than most, you're more likely to get injury. So, first things first, if it's not your warm-up that you're doing before lockdown, do not attempt the weight. It's your first session back, or your first few sessions back, or how many sessions you've had, you're still fresh. So keep your sets in between 1 or 2 if you're lucky. If you're feeling like you're feeling motivated and pumped, do 3 sets. If you're doing squats, 1 or 2 sets. Move on deadlifts, 1 or 2 sets. Move on overhead press, 1 or 2 sets. Chest, bench, 1 or 2 sets, and then move on. You're aiming to just tell the body, okay, I'm back. You're still telling your body, okay, I'm still using this area. Let me, progress slowly. Slow and steady in this position truly wins the race. And you're not thinking of this session. You're not thinking of this exact session right now. You want to have a long-lasting, training sessions like 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line. You got to think of the long run, not now. You want to think consistently of that long run. So in terms of training itself, you don't have to have DOMS. When I mean DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. You don't need to have those pains for you to say, okay, I'm continuing, to elevate. Like you see a lot of coaches and trainers, giving their clients stuff, and then they say, when the clients message them the next morning, oh, I'm in pain, etc. And they say, good. It doesn't necessarily, is the case. Like I believe especially when you're starting out, a newbie, you shouldn't have to train to a point where you are receiving or you're experiencing some kind of, discomfort the next day, because it means you might push it too hard. And from my experiences, a lot of clients are going to be put off by that. A lot of clients don't want to, just imagine me, I'm training for the first time and next morning I can't walk. Of course, yeah, they say it's good, but it's going to put me off training in the long run, because I'm thinking this can happen every time. You want to ease yourself into training. You don't necessarily have to have DOMS for you to continue to succeed. Take your time, 1 or 2 sets and move on. Stop training to a point where you're trying to push yourself so the next day you can feel some kind of pain and feel some kind of gratitude. That's not how training works. You're aiming to just give that stillness in the mind. Okay, I use you. Let me continue to elevate. Like, I know it's tempting to do what this person's doing, or you want to try to show off to your friends, or it happens. You're in the gym, you got that mindset. Okay, let me just push it a little bit here. But stick to the plan. Tell yourself, you know what? No, even before you go into training, have that mindset. Plan in advance. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. I'm going to do 3 sets of this, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to do 5 or 6 exercises, and then I'm going to move on. That allows you to stay on track. Keep that mindset focused on what you need to do, and you're literally training and leaving so the body knows what is happening. Not push yourself to a point where tomorrow morning you can't walk. Have like a roadmap, so you know I'm going to train this day, maybe have a rest day. So you train on Monday, have a rest day on Tuesday, train on Wednesday, have a rest on Thursday, train on Friday, maybe even train on the weekend. It's just so you have enough time to recover. Take your time. What's the rush? What is realistically the rush? Why are you rushing? Take your time. Have a day off in between so you can recover in time and literally come back better and stronger, but you're still enjoying the process. I always say enjoy the process. The journey that you're in, the journey is way more important than where you end up. So use this opportunity and just thrive through it. This is a period where you're gonna, learn a bit more about yourself maybe and adapt in the process, but continue to keep striving to be better than yourself. I keep saying trust the process and seriously enjoy this journey. Ego, get out. Same thing if you're doing cardio or you had a specific training you were doing. You're not going to go back and I'm going to run for 3 hours on a treadmill, for example. You're going to take your time. Get the heart rate used to it, especially with your VO2 max. The body loses, that cardiovascular endurance quicker than even muscle gain. So take your time. The whole thing is to enjoy the process. Enjoy the process because you learn so much and continue, of course, to get those gains. And it's literally that simple. It's just literally ego out the door. Stop pushing yourself too hard and enjoy the process. Do a few sets, 1 or 2 sets and move on. Do a few exercises and leave it as that. Let your body slowly adapt and get back to, where you were before, and you continue to elevate even more. Listen, injury flu is everywhere. Injury flu is trying to pick the people who are trying to, have that big ego in their minds to continue to keep pushing forward and then get injured. So injury flu is everywhere. Don't let the injury flu catch you. Continue to train safe and continue to be the best version of you. And please enjoy the journey. Gains will be made with or without you. When I say without you, if you're injured and injury flu catches you, gains will be made by somebody else. So you don't need to show off. Do it at your own capacity and continue to be the best versions of you. As I keep saying, I hope everybody has a safe gym opening and continues to elevate their gains safely, because you need to do it for yourself and your own personal being. So let's continue to go out there and let's continue to live. Let's continue to live to make. I'm pumped. Gyms are open. So let's get to live to make history. Why? Because you and I, we have one life. Let's go.